Tigers went 2-0 this weekend inside CQ. We'll break down the wins today on the Tiger Basketball Report, which starts now. Hello again, fans, and welcome to the Tiger Basketball Report. I'm your host, Ben Rosenbaum. Towson back at home inside CQ Arena, and they picked up 2 wins, defeating UNCW and the College of Charleston this weekend. As always, I'm joined by the head coach of the Tigers, Diane Richardson. And Coach, that must have felt a little better as opposed to what happened the previous couple of weeks.
Yes, absolutely.
Look at the UNCW game, 78-45. You guys are victorious. You held them to 31% from the floor and had 5 blocks as a team. Really did a good job of not committing the fouls when going for blocks and getting your hands on shots.
Yeah, and I thought our defense was great that game. You know, we didn't allow them to get into the paint, and when they did, we kind of blocked their shots. So it was a good showing for us from a defensive standpoint.
And we had talked in the previous 3 games, you guys had not shot the ball well. Melo was struggling, Nakaya was struggling, Q was struggling, Ryan was struggling. Melo had a great bounce-back game, 20 and 12 for her, a double-double, and she needed that kind of game where she could just get to her spots and knock them down.
Yeah, and again, that gave her the confidence to go on, you know, for the entire weekend, knocking down shots.
And then somebody who you and I had been waiting for it to happen, Siobhan Smith, scoop, 10 points for her, and she played a really hard-nosed basketball game. She was everywhere you needed her to be.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, again, we've counted on her this year, and she's really showing it and coming out, but on both ends of the court.
And then Scoop, to kind of fast forward to the Charleston game, 6 points for her in that game, and one of her, I think, her grittiest bucket I've ever seen her score. Q misses a layup at the rim, and Scoop just comes up and taps it right back in with contact and gets it to go. What finally clicked for her that she was able to really be this productive this past weekend?
Well, just talking to her a little bit and telling her we depend on her and we need her to do certain things, and she answered the call and did that. And, you know, I'm pretty proud of her. And
now you move forward to College of Charleston. You win 83-72. They give you a little bit of a fright at the end there. 20-point lead shrunk down to 10 at one point.
Yes.
How do you feel like your team handled that from a mental toughness standpoint where, okay, we've been beating this team all game, they're starting to claw back. You didn't let them get any much closer than 10.
Yeah, and we saw them, you know, the fight in College of Charleston, trying to come back, and hats off to their student athletes that did that. But we knew we couldn't let it get close, and they were poised, and we closed the game out.
It was another really good defensive game as well. Nakaya filled up the stat sheet block-wise. She filled it up in other ways too. She's moving close to, she's 1 block away from being 3rd all-time on the blocks list. And that's something when we saw her come in as a freshman, everyone kind of figured, just looking at her physically, this girl's going to block some shots.
Yeah.
And she's really climbing up the ladder.
Yeah, and she has in a lot of categories. I mean, obviously, she's a mismatch problem with shooting threes and things like that, and she knows how to control the board. So, you know, she's doing a lot, and we're expecting a lot of things out of her.
Nakaya gets her 9th double-double of the season, 22 and 11. Q 19 and 5. She's now 10 away from 1,000 points. And then Melo, who picked up CAA Player of the Week again, 19 points, 6 rebounds, and 1,000 points for her in the career. And we talked about it after the game. We'll get to the other 2 in a moment, but everything Melo has gone through from the start of her college career to now.
Yeah.
Getting 1,000 points in just 2 years. I mean, it's a remarkable career, and I mean, she's going to be one of the all-time greats in Towson history.
And absolutely, and not only, you know, 1,000 points, but we still have games to go.
Exactly.
And so she's been through a lot, you know, from a personal standpoint, and in overcoming a lot of things that people don't normally do, and still able to perform on the court. And it's a testament to her drive and working on her game to do that.
And then Nakaya and Q, like we said, Q really needed a game like these last couple of weekends. I mean, she looked unstoppable the other day against College of Charleston. She was getting everything, and it also seemed like the team was having as much fun as I've ever seen them have playing that game against College of Charleston. And do you think that helped? They were loose. They were very loose.
They were loose. Again, and the girls talked about it. Seeing the way we looked on film at JMU was sort of an embarrassment. And they knew they're a much better team than that, and they decided that we are going to get locked in and do what we need to do. And it showed this weekend.
And that's interesting. I mean, they see the JMU tape. It's not great. We've been over it. And then they flip. They take on two teams that are struggling a little bit in the CAA. How do you keep it from now? You cannot get too confident because, yes, you're playing Hofstra and Northeastern, two other teams that are kind of in the midst of it. And Hofstra's obviously looking for their first win. But you've got to keep this going no matter who lines up across from you.
And that's the theme we've been talking about is it's about us. And we are playing our game and not we're playing an opponent. We're playing Towson basketball.
All right, we'll talk about who Towson's playing basketball against next time on the Tiger Basketball Report when we preview the Tigers games against Northeastern and Hofstra. For head coach Diane Richardson, I'm Ben Rosenbaum. Thanks for joining us, and as always, go Tigers.